This is supercharged number 2343 on the original battery pack and motors. That orange glass. Very orange this morning. We're headed to Mount Davis in Pennsylvania. It's the highest mountain, 3,206 feet tall, I think, highest in the state. This is Salisbury, Pennsylvania. That's where we're headed on the left. It's a little after 7 o'clock in the morning, and usually by this time, because the sun's been up for a while, there's more people here and hiking. There's nobody here. I guess everybody's at the beach or mountain resorts or something. There's nothing like that around here. But I do see bugs around here. Gotta keep moving. One of the doors isn't opening because of the tree on that side. Not all the way, the falcon wings. So we have to go down this side of the parking lot. I just parked over there because I'm hoping it'll stay in the shade, but the trail is over here. This is just a picnic area, so we have to keep going down here, I think, to the trail. So we're kind of lost. And Denise saw a sign over here. Where is it? Right there. There's a sign on a tree saying this way. I think this road that's blocked off is the trail, I think, up here. This is the Mount Davis natural area we're in, and we said someone has to cut all this grass. It's a lot of grass to cut. This is us. This one goes to the mountain peak. And it's very shaded. Even though it hasn't rained that I know of in a while, it's kind of wet and a little muddy here. This is like an old road, it seems like. And look, yeah, you can see the water. You gotta be careful where you're walking. Got mountain laurel blooming. And some back there. Yeah, there's mountain laurel in all directions. It's blooming right now. What is this? This looks really weird. Look, these leaves have like growths on them. Look. Is this normal?
It doesn't look normal.
What? What is that? Is that cancer?
Yeah, it looks like the tree's trying to heal itself. Maybe there were bites from
Smoking?
gypsy moths.
There is a trail junction. It's right here. And it will be the loop. We're gonna make this a loop. If you just go straight out and back to the peak and the fire tower, it's very short. But you could do a loop, so we'll end up coming back through here when we do return. But for now, to the summit or the fire tower, just keep going straight. It's so quiet here. As I was mentioning to Denise, it feels like civilization has ended. We're the only ones left. Us and the birds and all the insects. I can hear them flying around here.
I left my jacket at the cabin.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take my jacket. You always warm up, even though there's not a lot of elevation here. There'll be even more elevation on this hike actually after we get to the top.
It was only 66. I thought that might be too cold for short sleeves.
And well, the sun's out now. You can see it's behind our back. Got the shadow. There's a lot of rocks, tons of mountain laurel blooming, but a lot of rocks. This is not a drivable trail anymore like it used to be when we started off. All right, we're at a trail junction. I guess we go this way, but I don't know. We just walked from that direction. This is kind of a cut around to keep going on the trail that we'll continue on, but the observation tower is down here apparently. I can't even see it. Can you see it?
No.
But we're gonna go down this way because I think it's down here. I see an opening. I don't see. Wait, is there a tower there? Or is it the remnants of a tower? 1 mile. Did there used to be a tower here? Like, what is this? It talks about trees. Trees of the area. So where's the tower? I thought there was supposed to be like oh wait, there is a tower. I see it over there.
It looks like a water tower.
Let's go check it out. Yeah, there's like a GPS, I guess, or that's probably the peak of the mountain. But there is a tower here, look. There's nobody else here but us. Also, it looks like we're allowed to climb up the tower. A lot of times you get to these towers and you're not. They have it all locked off.
And padlocked.
Yeah, but this looks like we can get up into the tower, climb up. And it doesn't look, the tower itself isn't that tall, right? What does it say?
Nothing.
Warning, danger, use at your own risk. This feels sturdy. We were up at one tower in New Hampshire. I touched it, I could feel the whole structure blowing in the winds at the top of that granite dome. Getting above the trees. This is it. There's that big radio tower, AT&T, that we saw at the parking lot. There's a topographical map of this area. This is cool. And you can see all the elevation drops off to the east. And then look at those windmills. I guess that's a windy spot. there. There's surprisingly little wind here. Just don't really see it. So some wind, but not much. There's some nice friendly writing here on the map. Something bitches. It's a picnic area, I guess. And this is where we are, I'm guessing, right here. We've walked up from the picnic area.
I'm gonna make a video.
This is Mount Davis, the highest peak in Pennsylvania. You can see it's a giant tourist attraction.
There are windmills over there.
How many feet is this? Above
It's
sea
just
level?
over 3,000 feet.
Over 3,000. Yeah, and there's more windmills way over there.
Pennsylvania doesn't have 4,000 feet.
They're the far away windmills. I'd also say that considering the remote location of this place, it's very light on the vandalism. I would think that this place would want to be padlocked and people would be jumping off, bungee jumping, and who knows what else, with cases of beer, you know, but apparently nobody shows up here. Nobody even knows this exists. We're on like another planet.
Well, there's bad weather here in the wintertime. They
Yeah.
kept this undeveloped.
And Denise was also saying like there's no super tall mountains here. They're not steep. They're just here for oil, mineral, and gas extraction, especially gas and oil, right? Being Pennsylvania. The coal is more in West Virginia where they do the strip mining.
There's a lot of coal over in eastern Pennsylvania too. I have
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of miners in my family tree.
So 100-foot intervals, each elevation, see each little thing. This is cool. It's like an actual 3D topograph. Yeah, each one's 100. So we've gone up 100 feet, it looks like, from where we parked. And then we'll go down a bunch and then come back up again. So there'll be some elevation on this hike.
Yeah.
And you can see it sideways to see how the elevation actually is. Here's some words, so we can read them. There are some more words if you can read those. Is that whistling? Is that like wind in this metal cages here of this fire tower? A whistle when the wind blows. But the sun's behind your head. So,
I guess we can move. Which way do you want to move?
well, see, there's the sun right there. That should be, our faces should be facing the sun.
Okay.
But then there's not much of a view.
Good picture. Where are you going? That's not a selfie.
You get the whole map and everything in there. All right, so there's more mountains back there. We're out of here now. Let me show you these mountains before we leave. So this is like a ridge of mountains in between ridges on both sides, which is a lot of Pennsylvania if you look at it on a map. Goodbye, tower. We came in over that way, but we're gonna go off this way, keep going through the loop. So this is a road and you might be able to drive through here. I don't know. You might be able to drive right up to this point, actually. But we're not gonna find out. We're just here for the hike and it looks really overgrown through here, but this is how we have to go.
I'm just here for the pizza.
Yeah, we're gonna get pretzel pizza in Hagerstown, I think, afterwards. All right, that was wrong. I think we're supposed to go down. That was this hill they were going further down this road and turn off somewhere. Yeah, you should have gone through here, through this other little path that I saw off to the right and down here. Yeah, it says 2 parking lot. Yeah, there must be a parking lot.
Rock Trail.
This is it, yeah. Well, this is what we're gonna be on now, Shelter Rock Trail. It's a big loop that we make. So we're 1 mile in, another 4.5 miles, and we got the most impressive part done in the very beginning. Usually we try to leave it till the end, but that's just not how it worked out here. There are, again, a surprising number of rocks here, considering this is basically like a flat, level trail. And Denise is already concerned about bear, she says. I guess she knows bear habitat when she sees it.
Watch for bears. That would
Watch.
be the only thing that would make this hike interesting.
Bear crossing. This is just like an interesting section with all the mountain laurel. And I don't know what this stuff is, a little bit higher than it. And we're walking through the whole section that's all similar to that. Are those tall? What are these taller trees? Do you know?
I don't know. You can maybe seek and find out.
The whole trail here is like solid mountain laurel that's blooming.
The bumblebees really like it.
We're starting to head downhill, and there will be uphill. I've also heard that there are some waterfalls maybe that we see here. So we'll check it out. All right, we are really heading down now, and it looks like to a creek or something down at the bottom here.
There yet?
Not yet.
How far have we come? I hear a squirrel.
We've gone about 2 miles. So I guess we're at the low point for a while because this, I think, is the stream, but I don't see any waterfall or anything. Do you, Denise? No, I don't even hear any waterfalls or anything. And actually, we are continuing to go down. That wasn't the lowest point. We're gonna, maybe they'll be up ahead. Yeah, it's very quiet out here. Peaceful. Not too impressive, but just nice to be out in a nature walk with all the blooming mountain laurel. All right, we are about an hour and 15 minutes in, 2.25 miles, and we've approached this another road, like a fire road or something. And if we go up it, well, if you go to the right, you're totally lost. If you go to the left, it's a shortcut. But if the trail's supposed to continue here, I don't know where. This is called Shelter Rock Road, as it turns out. And it turns out the trail actually continues down here. We just need to make sure we don't miss the turnoff to the left. At some point, it turns off to the left. And if you haven't noticed by now, you're gonna get really wet. My shoes are soaked. All this stuff, yeah. This walk is basically all downhill. At least there's no rocks in here, but there's a good chance, I think, of picking up ticks just walking through this grass. I finally hear an airplane way up in the sky, though. Haven't heard any airplanes really until now. I think this is that same creek crossed earlier. They've got a bridge here on the road, which is weird. This is all steel bridge with like steel gratings. This is weird. I've never seen a bridge like this. It's like a one piece. It just, I guess they cut it and it fits in place. It's all steel. And it seems solid.
The blade bridging wiring is built out of this stuff. It makes a lot of noise on your tires. And
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's not even smooth. It's got different, you see, like right here, I mean, it's not, it's,
They're steel grates.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, this is welded. I don't know if that was on the factory. I think it may have been done in the factory or something. Or maybe on site. Well, this is welded.
these I-beams are curved.
This doesn't have as good of a job on the weld.
No,
That's open. What's I-beam?
These I-beams are curved. They were
Oh, I think that's bent.
malleable iron.
You think it's bent? I think someone bent that. I don't think it's supposed to be like that, is it? Or,
I think they're
huh, why did they do
made
that?
that way under extreme heat.
That's your bridge tour. I think this is our turnoff, just past the bridge. So don't miss it. Wildcat Spring. I guess that's where the waterfalls. It's that creek that keeps going down. Oh, look, this looks very.
Right.
Ooh. So I think this is just a spring. This is not the trail. We're gonna keep going and hopefully hook up with the trail down here. I believe this is the trail on the left. It goes straight off the road down. It says timber slide. Timber slide. That could be fun, right? Timber slide. That's where we're going.
Justin Timberslide sing that song "Cry Me a River."
Yeah. So this section is basically continuously downhill in a mostly straight line. And then when we get to the bottom of the elevation, which is, I think, going to be the lowest point on this hike, then we make a sharp left, it curves to the left, and then we start going uphill from there. We are almost to the end of this keep going down straight section, about 3 miles in, and an hour and 45 minutes. I hear water running now. Just down here is that sharp left I was talking to you guys about earlier. And I hear a second plane now. But I didn't know the trail kept going. I didn't see that on the map. So Tub Mill, Timber Slide. Yeah, I can see how they slide all the timber down. Just all down. Tub Mill, Tub Mill. But we're gonna go this way. I hear water this way. Lots of rocks in this section. We've been seeing these red blazes too on the trees. It sounds like a waterfall. It just kind of cascades down here, and this is the uphill section now. And so I guess we get to listen to the waterfalls and see them. I hear them here. I don't really see much. Just rushing water down in there. Oh, okay, here's some waterfalls. You see all the fog too coming off the water. You have to cross it here. Very small waterfall. Look at the sunlight beams coming through the fog here. Yeah, see the sunlight coming through the fog. When that wind blows, it's blowing all the fog away. The fog's gone now. Yeah, just like that, the fog is gone. it's raining. You see the water drops come down? When the wind blows on the tops of the trees, it's raining. Maybe that's how the fog returns. So the sun is right up there. So we just made a sharp left, and now we're walking up. There's more waterfalls in there. We're walking up along the other side of the stream. There's some nice waterfalls in here too, but you can't see them because of all the vegetation. All right, we're gonna try to go through here closer. There's a spider web. It looks like people have gone through here. Yeah, here's the waterfall, and it's still got some steam, so that blows off. See the steam right here? You can see it. You're walking through. You can see there's still some steam.
This isn't big enough for the both of us.
Waterfall! There's like many layers right up on top. You see beneath is way up on top. More layers of waterfall. And tons of moss. Look how mossy, how green and slippery all those rocks are. You can see? Very slippery. This is where Denise was up here. Not as loud. And the smaller falls we could see from down below. Seems like there's just not as much water flow up here. Maybe there was a spring back there, I don't know. Seems like we're walking away now from that creek, that stream, waterfalls. These are all just past peak bloom. Probably because we're at a lower elevation, and I think we have to go back up higher to get back to the car. So maybe we'll see more of them in full bloom as we go up. You can see the blooms on the ground. We've hiked almost 4 miles, about 2.5 hours, and I can start to see maybe some views. I don't know. And I can also see why you had to do this whole loop, even though it seemed pointless, because you wouldn't get to see all those waterfalls. And maybe these are some views up here. We'll see. Okay, it sounds like rain, not like just stuff coming off the trees when the wind's blowing.
There was raining forecast.
Was there?
Yeah, it was supposed to start at noon.
What time is it?
My battery's dead.
And it's like there are some views over there. I think people have cut these trees down for views. We're going to see if you don't get too wet too. Okay, where's the umbrella? Well, thankfully most of this is under trees, so you don't get hit as hard with the rain. But it is definitely raining now. This is not good. We've never been rained out of a hike before.
I have.
You have?
I'm not rained out. I kept going, but we got sun. The first hike that I ever went on, we got in Roanoke, the Mississippi line. It rained a whole hour-long walk around.
We're waiting under a tree now. And I still don't see any views anyway. But maybe up here. Checking the radar now, this looks like a very quick passing band. And we should have enough gap in between this and the next one to get back without getting totally soaked, hopefully. So we're gonna wait here under the tree. That's where we are, under the tree. Okay, rain stopped. Now we just have to try to go through here without getting wet. How about that? Oh my gosh. So there's not much of a view. Maybe there's a better view as we keep going. Careful in this area, I almost slipped. There's all kinds of rocks in between the ferns and they're all wet.
You cleared the path pretty well.
It's hard to even tell there's a trail in here. This is just like going through the jungle almost. But it looks like people had cut these trees down, so you got all this undergrowth covering the whole trail. Maybe there'll be some views, that's what we hope. There is another trail that comes in here on the left. I don't know if this is, it goes to that road, and I don't know if this is like an old campground or something. I'm checking for ticks here, sorry. But that's what this trail is. Don't take it. Keep going. And there may not be any views here after all. I don't know what happened in this area. Like I said, it was maybe an old campground. Maybe they were logging it or some combination of that. It just is a mess. It does look like right down here that we leave this area. So back into the deep woods, which is way better than this kind of stuff. Not only from the rain aspect, but also because of the sun aspect, if it's not raining. So this is like really nice because this hike is pretty much almost entirely under heavy shade. and trees except for that area that we just went through. And this must be a dry creek that needs some heavy rains to get it going. Also, even though my boots are waterproof, they are soaked through. I mean, I can feel my insides of my socks are all wet. And it's not because of the rain, it's because of all the vegetation that you're constantly brushing up against. That's all damp. There's not really any way to avoid it. And hopefully we don't have ticks. Denise says that she doesn't have a problem with her socks being soaked through like mine. Mine are totally soaked. I need to change my socks out, dry my feet off when we get back. But she also has better hiking boots. So this is the kind of hike where that makes a difference. Normally it doesn't make a difference at all. This is the first time I've ever had this problem. Because like, look at all this vegetation I'm brushing up against. Yeah, there's no way to avoid this stuff right on the trail. It just gets right into your shoes. Yeah, there's more mountain laurel left on the blooms left as we are at a higher elevation now, just a little bit higher. Here's a little forest view overlook.
I thought we were going down there.
No, just an overlook.
After you.
Oh no.
God. Do you have signal out here?
Maybe.
How old are you now? Tuesday.
As you can tell, there is mobile signal here. It's a benefit we don't usually get on these hikes that we do in very remote areas.
Mm-hmm.
Up here, we're gonna make a hard left. And when we do, I think it's right up here, we'll be at just about 5 miles in 3 hours. You can hear a propeller plane now, but this is the turn. And I'm thinking we're about a half mile away from the parking lot once we make this turn. There's this open area to the right of the trail. It looks like a road of some kind. And then this is when the turn happens. We kind of move away from the road. We were approaching this road. Now we're totally moving away. Already I can see a huge difference in this section. There's just not as much brush that you're hitting when you're walking. That last section, after the waterfalls, once we got away and up in elevation, that was just so much brush and undergrowth. So I'm noticing the distance that's going up. It's probably gonna be more like 6 miles for the whole hike. This is that Shelter Rock Road that we were on earlier. We had to walk down, we turned right and went down it. That's where we were down that direction. This way goes up to the main road that we drove in on. And there should be a trail. I guess this is it, right? But there was also another trail that came in on the right after we got to that part where there was clearings and lots of underbrush. And you could have taken a shortcut through that trail up to this road. And then this is the way you go back to the main starting trail into the parking lot. We're very close to the end, and we just saw 2 hikers go by for the first time. Everybody saw more hikers. And they said that they saw a couple of snakes. That's what they said. we are just about back to the original trail. And I think it's gonna be probably about 6 miles and 3.5 hours altogether for us. This is it right up here, the junction. So we make a right turn and back to the parking lot. This is a sign, if you remember in the beginning. And we went down that way. Do you remember this in the beginning? This is when we thought the whole thing was gonna be mud. It's always like that. When you first enter some area, it's worse, and they're right in the beginning. I even see another car. We're gonna see if the bathrooms work now.
Are those the little TNT towers?
Denise is gonna give her bathroom review here in a minute. How was it?
Fine.
She says there were bugs all over in there.